Hello, this is Kyle, and here, in no particular order, are 10 things that Formula 1 2014 has brought us. So firstly, new engines. Now the big concern coming into this year was, would they be reliable? Could any of the cars, especially the Red Bull, actually complete a race distance? As soon as it was discovered that yes, in fact they would be reliable, that soon changed to, are the cars loud enough? Now this is something that really annoys me, because first of all, the cars are not quiet. That is a myth. They're not as loud as last year, but they're definitely still loud enough, so that is nonsense, really. And secondly, I think that it is distracting from more important issues, but I'll get on to that later. 2. We have the Russian Grand Prix, which is going to be at the Sochi track this year. Now, it's always interesting to see a new track on the calendar, of course, but we've had a lot of new Grand Prix actually come and go, such as the South Korean Grand Prix, the Indian Grand Prix, that have actually disappeared off the calendar now. So I guess the other factor to look out for that will be interesting is just to see how long it stays on the calendar, whether it can actually become a permanent fixture. 3. Mercedes domination. Mercedes bought out the championship-winning Brawn at the end of 2009. However, since then the team have found things somewhat more difficult and have faced stiff competition. But this year, for the first time, Mercedes not only find themselves in the championship fight, but really looking like the favourites, and they are a long way ahead of the opposition. They do, however, have two very closely matched and talented drivers, which should keep things interesting, as I discussed in a previous video. And that really leads on to my 4th point, which is teammate rivalries. We've already seen some good battles this season between, at Force India, Nico Hülkenberg and Sergio Perez, very closely matched, and then Felipe Massa and Valtteri Bottas at Williams as well, obviously all kicking off with the infamous team orders as well. 5. Danny Kvyat. He has been impressive so far in the Toro Rosso, scoring points from 3 out of the first 4 races, so only being outside of the top 10 once, which is really not an easy achievement for a rookie driver in a lower down team. 6. The return of the Austrian Grand Prix, to be held of course at the Red Bull Ring, formerly the A1 Ring, formerly the Earthstrick Ring, with a Formula 1 history that stretches right back to 1970. And I think it's really great just to see one of these classic European circuits rejoining the calendar, rather than another yawnsome Tilk effort. 7. Marcus Ericsson. It's hard to judge his performances so far really, as he is in a Caterham, and you could put anyone in those cars and they'd still be running around at the back. They really are a stupid little team. But going back to Ericsson, what we can see from his results is that he has been outperformed by Kamui Kobayashi so far, which I guess is to be expected since his teammate has a lot of experience behind him, and we know he's also very talented. But I would like to see Ericsson push Kobayashi more as the season goes on. 8. The double points finale. Now, some people seem to have bizarrely got the idea that I'm against double points. I don't know where that's come from. No, I am in fact all for the idea, but I would just like to see one alteration. My suggestion is make every race double points. That would be a lot better. 9. The appearance of the new cars. Now, as you all know, we have seen some interesting visual design ideas from the teams, particularly in the nose department. Now, this is not something that bothers me as much as it does for some other people. If anything, I'm just glad to see a change. I mean, yes, the Toro Rosso looks like a phallic symbol, but what the hell, it's actually quite an appropriate visual metaphor for what remains very much a male-dominated sport. The only design that really does annoy me is the Lotus. Maybe it's just because I'm particularly OCD about these things or something, but I just cannot stand the asymmetry of that nose. I'm just so glad that car's not doing well this year. And finally, number 10, Kevin Magnussen. He has already shown himself to be impressive this season, scoring a podium in his very first outing. Even Lewis Hamilton didn't get a second place on his debut. Since then, however, Magnussen has not accomplished much else, so there may be a question over his consistency, although the McLaren has proven to be a difficult package since that opening race, with Button struggling as well. So, thank you for watching. Just one more thing. Myself, Northwest Rallying and Penvision collaborated to do a live broadcast on Google Hangout, which is still available to watch, and it's definitely worth checking out if you haven't already, so I'll put the link up for that. Also, you can check out my Facebook page, as always, and my website. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you next time.